Hey y'all, what's up, what's good? It's your girl Michaela Janae here, back with another video. And in today's video I'm going to be going over all of the books I read in the month of March. And like I said, this month was definitely better because I had a great selection of books to choose from. So let's just hop into it. Okay, so it's looking like this month I read about 5 books, which is really good. Just a quick little update. My library switched from Libby over to Cloud Library. At first I was a hater because I did not take the time to get into Cloud Library and understand it, but let me just say I renounce all of my feelings towards Cloud Library for right now. For some reason, now that they've switched over to Cloud Library, we have a lot more books that are available and books that I want to read, and like you can tailor your reading selection better. Like they only show you the books in your genres, which I love. I only want to see what I want to see. You guys know I have a very tailored reading style, real small window of the books I read, and I was able to tailor that over in Cloud Library. So love it so far. To me, the holds are going way faster. I don't know if my library just has more books because they're on Cloud Library, or it's probably because a lot of the people did not switch over yet from Libby. But whatever the reason, I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm definitely going to keep giving you guys updates on what my library has going on. But let's hop into this video. First, I want to start off with the worst book that I read, and of course it was a DNF. It is 1,000 Words by Mandy Blake. When it comes to the Christian clean romance, she is a name that I see a lot. So I was excited to try this book out, but when I tell you, I strongly disliked it, and I only got to chapter 9. Here's the synopsis. It says, Tyler's last year of residency is all work and no play, just the way he likes it. His life would be smooth sailing if he could improve his bedside manner. He agrees to a blind date, but only to practice communication skills. Then he's speechless when he sees who's across the table. Sissy isn't one to turn down the adventure, especially not a blind date with a reportedly handsome doctor. When the blind date turns out to be her brother's friend Tyler, she's not all disappointed. She convinced him to go with the flow for once. He's cautious and she throws caution to the wind. When Tyler's loyalty is torn between his friend and the woman he's falling for, one unspoken word could be enough to change everything. Now from that synopsis, it sounds good. The premise of the book, the idea of the book sounds amazing, but like to me it was too insta love. When we started off in the book, okay, I was okay with Sissy. I was liking that, you know, she was playful, which I really wasn't understanding her age. Like they were almost making her too immature. I didn't understand why she had to be that immature, but okay. And then him, he was fine, but like I don't like when they're like too scared of the brother, or I don't know, something about that relationship was off. Okay, so then by the time she got on the date with him and he was just freaking out, and then she was like convincing him to go on other dates with her, and he was just scared, and I just could not get into this book. I didn't like it. Will I give Mandy Blake another try? Yes, I will, because people love a lot of her books. I really wasn't liking the characters. I wasn't liking their interaction. The author didn't give us enough backstory about, you know, what their previous relationship was. Maybe they were going to get into that more deeper into the book. There was not enough buildup of the relationship. There was not enough tension. Like to me, they didn't have to, you know, start dating that quick. I love more of a slower to medium burn. I need some things to happen before they start dating, and that's not what I got in this book. So it was a DNF. Okay, on to the next one. Now, Jenny Proctor, as you guys know, is one of my new favorite authors. She does clean romance so well. I was so excited. So this book is Love in Bloom, and once again, this is another 5 stars for me. I'm just going to tell you right out the gate, but let me go ahead and read the description for you guys. Hating Cameron Hunter shouldn't be this easy. I'm basically a golden retriever puppy. I love everyone and want everyone to love me. Cameron is the singular exception to my love everyone rule, and the hatred goes both ways. First of all, he's one of those guys, the kind that looks like he belongs on the cover of the Yacht Club Weekly. Second of all, he's way too good at his job. The man is a walking Wikipedia. His walking tours of historic downtown Charleston stay booked weeks in advance. Did I mention I run tours along the same route? When we both up for a magazine feature that could kick our respective careers to the next level, our rivalry turns into a heated competition. Then we unexpectedly kiss. It's a long story, and things get really complicated. Now my blood is boiling over Cameron for an entirely different reason. Only one of us can win. Can I trust a man who used to be my enemy, or is everything, even our relationship, just part of his plan to take me down? Love in Bloom is a full-length enemies to lovers romantic comedy with characters you'll love and sizzling chemistry you want in a closed-door romance. Amazing. Like I said, I love Jenny Proctor. I love how all of her books are in the exact same universe, the same characters, and I'm loving Charleston in North Carolina. Like I really have to go there because in these books she brings you there. You feel like you're in downtown. You feel like you know these people and they're friends. And the guy, Cameron Hunter, such a complex character. He had so much stuff going on in his life, how he built up this whole story surrounding his life, and he was lying a lot. He was, but I love how he was able to express his feelings for her, and how he was very clear on what he wanted, but it was hard for him to communicate that because of things that happened in his past, things with his mother. Basically, life just dealt him a hard hand, and he built up this whole fake persona to deal with it and to get ahead in life. When it came to the main character, I just loved her love for flowers. You guys know I'm into gardening, so I love to see that she loved flowers that much and that she had a real passion for it, and that was just so great to see. And I love that she had some insecurities when it came to finances, and she just felt like she wasn't a real adult because everyone in her life was a little bit ahead of her, and I definitely understand that. It was very relatable, and Jenny Proctor is always writing really relatable content, because I remember even her first book I related to so well. So this one was really good. There was a good amount of drama, but not too much drama. There was people's backstories regarding their family, but not too much family. I don't need too much family, and this was that. I would definitely give this a 5 out of 5. Okay, so next up was an author I had never read before, but I want to get into her, honey. She does clean romances, I believe. I don't know if all her books are clean romance, but this one is a clean romance, and it is Her Football Star X by Judy Corey. And this is in a series, A Second Chance for the Rich and Famous. This is book 3 in that series, and let's get into the synopsis. It says, she swore off the man who broke her heart. He's determined to win her back. When Emerson hears a rumor that her ex-husband, NFL quarterback Vincent Lake, is bringing a +1 to a wedding they're both set to attend, she signs up for online dating and hopes to find impressive enough to make her famous ex jealous for the night. Vincent should be on top of the world when he leads his team to playoffs, but when his best friend accidentally matches with Emerson, it's like a dagger to his heart. He knows she deserves happiness after his betrayal broke their family apart, but watching her move on is proving harder than winning the Super Bowl. But when they're thrown together before the wedding and sparks reignite, Emerson begins to believe Vincent truly regrets his mistake. And even though forgiveness seems impossible, Vincent dares to hope the best love stories can come after the biggest heartbreaks. Now, when I explain this, just know I'm gonna get into this book, and the things I'm gonna say, you still need to read it. Don't think you don't need to read this book because of what I'm about to say, because the path of getting there, you're gonna enjoy it. First of all, Emerson, I loved her. She was a lawyer, she was independent, she was a single mother. This is my first time reading a second chance romance, because usually I'm not messing with it, but this one was so good. This one is making me look at that trope a little bit differently. So she was a lawyer, and one of their mutual friends, I think it was her paralegal, and one of his football friends, they're getting married. Emerson and Vincent were in the wedding, and they're in it together. So she's like, is he bringing a date? Her paralegal's like, yeah, I think he is. So she signs up for online dating for the very first time. They'd only been separated for like a year because he cheated. She matches with one of his football player co-worker buddy friends, which that's another idea, a great idea for another book. I'm so wrong, but I wanted her to be with the friend, because that would be a very good book too. When the friend matched with Emerson, Vincent was in the room, so I was like, that would be very interesting if she did start dating him, because they could have still, Vincent and Emerson could have ended up together in the end, but just to have that middle messiness of her dating the friend would have been interesting. It was very much given the game, but of course that didn't happen. The friend is very loyal. He's like, I'm not going to go on a date with your ex-wife because I know you're still in love with her, which was very admirable. I love it. Okay, I got over my own little twisted thoughts. So that was one thing I loved. That was very interesting. This book was very real. Another thing I loved about this book was just how cautious Emerson was. Like, she did not jump back into anything. He betrayed her trust, so for good reason. She was like, no, I'm shutting all this down now. But when it came to the third act conflict, because once you get to that part of the book, what comes up is crazy. I'm trying not to say it because it's like the major twist surprise of the book, but it makes it so real. Like, I could see it as a movie. I watched it in my head. What happens in the third act, it shook me to my core, so I know it shook Emerson, but the way it came together and it worked out for their good, and it really made sense. I loved it. I loved this book. Let me just go ahead and give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm feeling generous with my 5-star reads today, because I would literally read this book again. You get dual POVs, which I love. I love to see what's in the guy's head. She did what she needed to do. Judy Corey did what she needed to do, and I really did enjoy this book. I can't wait to get into more books by her, but this couple really did it for me, and I loved this book. Okay, so next I have The Relation Trip by Alana Johnson. This one I'm gonna go ahead and give it off the back like a 4-star or 4.5 stars. Question: what does a reclusive author and outgoing travel agent have in common? Answer: nothing. But fate brought them together on a vacation 5 years ago. As Logan and Sloane prepare for their annual get-together, there are sparks flying between them. When Logan Murphy, my accidental best friend, calls to say our annual midwinter trip has to be redone, he's also got the solution. Belize, an adults-only resort, and we leave in 2 days. I'm giddy with excitement because I need this trip more than I can express. When I see Murphy standing in the airport, my heart twitches to a beat it hasn't since my fiance left me, to tell all our friends and family that he couldn't make it to the wedding. So it's a short-lived twitch, because I'm never going to get into the dating box ring again, and at least of all with my best friend, Logan. I've never told Sloane what I do for a living, and she doesn't know how I feel about her either. But I want her to know all my secrets. I want my best friend in my life more than once a year, and I've already started pinning a happily ever after for the two of us. This year I tell myself as my crush on the vibrant woman is at least 2 years old now. If only I knew how to tell her. I'm gonna knock off that little half a point because it was a little hard for me to get into. When I started reading it, I felt like I was kind of behind, because you're starting the book where they've already had like going on her honeymoon together. I wish we could have seen that, but at the same time that wasn't really important. It wasn't about that first trip, but that's how they met. So these two people, Sloane and Logan, met when her fiance left her at the altar, and she went on their honeymoon alone, and Logan ended up going with her because they met at the airport and she had an extra ticket, and Logan was like, I'm down to go. But that was just a little backstory. They don't talk about that in this book. In this book, they're like on their 5th trip, and Logan has been having feelings for Sloane for like 2 years. So that's fine and everything. I like how quickly he told her. Like, this book was really good because he did not wait around and hold it in his head to tell her that he had feelings. He waited until like the 2nd date. So I love that. I don't like to wait around for no reason. Sloane was in her head a lot, sometimes to the point where it was kind of annoying. She was really doubting him, but I understood why she was doubting his affection, because one, he was quiet for a long time. Like, you cannot tell that he wants to be with her. She was really burned by her ex-fiance, so her eyes were really closed to a lot of things, so that's understandable. But I would dock off the half a point because of how serious he was, thinking that people were going to judge him for being a romance author, which if people are really like that, that's really sad, because a job is a job. Being a romance author is not a problem. Men and women are in romantic relationships the same, so it could be written from any point of view. So I don't understand why he was that upset. I don't understand why Sloane was that upset. If you did not take the time to ask what this man does, and you know he's affording these expensive trips, you're just like, he works from home and I'm okay with that. That was your fault, because I'm like, what you do from home? I would just ask. So she didn't ask, so that was kind of her own fault. But to me, my favorite part of this book was Logan, not even Sloane. My favorite part of this book was Logan, because he did what he needed to do to fight for his girl. The ending was so sweet, how he went to her. He did what he needed to do. So I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 stars. I would recommend that you give this a read. It's very wordy, not a lot goes on. They're basically in the same setting the entire book, but it's easy to get through. It's good, it works. I liked it. 4.5 stars. Okay, so the next book that I read in the month of March was The Billionaire Love Match by Emma St. Clair. This book was good. This was another author I've never read before. Let's get into the synopsis. Does real love stand a chance on reality TV? The odds are never in your favor. At least that's what she thought. But when Casey makes the final casting for a matchmaking show, she holds her breath and takes a chance. Colt Woods needs to find ratings, not romance. When the show he expected to be all fake turns all too real, Colt has to rethink everything, especially when his movie mogul mother tries to script the end. In front of cameras and surrounded by 14 other jealous women, Colt and Casey do their best to let a real relationship unfold. Can they trust something built on live television, or will their relationship turn out to be 15 minutes of fame? Now, I am not a relationship reality show watcher. I've never watched Love is Blind. I've never watched Love Island. I ain't never watched none of that because I do not care. This book is the closest I've gotten to any of that, and it was very interesting because it was very, I guess, reminiscent of the clips or whatever I have seen from these bachelorette types, but I felt like I was getting like a little behind the scenes of how how, once again, why I don't watch it, how fake it can be and how scripted it can be, and just how the people who are in charge, like Coates' mother, work their hands in each part of it. They knew that they wanted to be together, but his mother was holding things over his head. He wanted to have his own studio that did like Christian films and clean things, and his mom was like, if you want your own studio, you're gonna have to do this. So he had to become the bachelor and go through everything, and the mom was very vindictive. She did whatever she needed to do to get ratings, and she caused these two to fall out. But when I tell you I love this main character, Casey, I like when characters don't just like fall for things too quickly or just let one apology solve everything. She did not do that. She made him work for it, honey, because Colt was wrong at the end. When I tell you he went off because of things that transpired and lies that he believed from his mother. So he was apologizing everywhere. He apologized multiple times, and I love how Casey really stood up for herself when it came to this reality show, and she was just being her authentic self, being honest on TV. And you know, sometimes the most authentic people come off as fake, because there's so many fake people on TV that when someone real comes or when a Christian comes, they're being super ridiculed, and that's what was happening to Casey. I bet it would be hard, and I see that sometimes Christian women try to go on reality dating, and it's like, girl, that's probably not the place for you, because guess what, you're going to get torn apart. TV is going to bring you into situations that are going to compromise your faith, and that definitely happened in this book. But to me, she handled it really well, and I loved it. I would give this book 5 stars because it was good. There was tension, there was misunderstandings, but it was real good misunderstandings, because I was shook too. So this is definitely something you should read. If you are a reality show lover, you're gonna love this book, because it drops you right into the world of reality TV. And I would definitely get into this author, Emma St. Clair, a little bit more, because this book was it. Okay, all right y'all, so that is it for this month's reading. I really had a lot of fun this month. I was exploring new authors, and my eyes are continuing to be wide open to the world of clean Christian romances. I'm loving it so far. I love sharing it with you guys. Please let me know what you guys read this month. Let me know what was your favorite read of the month, and what are you looking forward to when it comes to April. I know a lot of good books are coming out in April. I didn't get a chance to read Becky Wade's new book, but I'm gonna check on Cloud Library and see what's going on with that book. Like I said, I'm kind of iffy about that book, but I really do like Becky Wade, so I might just give it a try. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all had a very blessed and happy reading month. I'll be seeing you guys in my next video.